This morning, a local nonprofit is helping young men use the pain of their past to impact their community and lead in a positive way, and they're holding a celebration. Congratulations to the recent graduates of the Broken Men Foundation's Youth Academy. Some young men ranging in age from 12 to 18 completed a 16-week program aimed at helping them become better men. And it does that through academic achievement, establishment of social skills, and community involvement. The nonprofit was created in 2014 and led by men from all walks of life, hoping to make a positive impact on the next generation.
Okay, so I grew up in programs like this, just for the record. Single mother, my mom got me involved in a lot of things like this. And even after she got married, I still was involved in a lot of different programs like this. And don't get me wrong, I like what they say with this one, men from all walks of life. So they're just not like, got a bunch of ex-thug jailbirds telling the kids, you know, I used to be the coolest dude in the street. Back in the day, everybody feared me. I had all the money and all the girls. But don't you do that. You go hit the books and study and stay in the house on the weekends and don't go to the parties and study real hard. And one day, 10, 15 years from now, you'll have a good life. That does not work. I do, however, think that none of this stuff works. But if you have men from all walks of life, you have men from the business sector, successful men from the community, mentoring these kids. And this is a 16-week program. So these kids, it's not just a talk and then you're gone. They're staying with these kids for a period of time and they're able to drill this stuff into these kids. And I hope that this works, man. I really do, man. I was in programs like this and it just, when I say it didn't work, I'm not saying that it didn't keep guys off the street during the time they were in the program. It didn't give guys a place to go during the time they were in the program. Didn't give guys hope during the time they were in the program. I'm saying, though, that, like, the result at the end of the day, look back at the roster, look back at the roll call of all the guys and see what they're doing. And you'll say, even you will say, this stuff doesn't work.
The nonprofit was created in 2014 and led by men from all walks of life, hoping to make a positive impact on the next generation.
We just decided to make sure that we give back to the young men. We want to make sure that we talk about life coping skills and different things and make sure these young men make better decisions to make them live for another day.
And you can find more information on the start of their next academy at brokenmenfoundation.org.
1,000 students at a high school in New York City today walking out of school to protest the gun insanity that is like a pandemic these days, including on the campus of Susan Wagner High on Staten Island. From guns at school to threatening posts on social media, so many students furious, and they say they won't take it anymore. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson.
Now, I've often railed against these walkouts. It seems like these kids walk out every day somewhere in America. There's some walkout. Some Sun team did a hoax and wrote a slur in the bathroom, and now every kid's walking out and demanding that, you know, principal is fired and all this other crap. And every little thing nowadays, these kids walk out. But I do support these kids because they're walking out for a real reason. This is an anti-liberal reason. The liberals are shaking in their boots right now. Kids walking out to protest gun violence? The liberals are shaking in their boots right now. This won't get any play anywhere on the Young Turks, on CNN, MSNBC, nowhere. You won't see this on The View. You won't see this anywhere. No support for these kids who are walking out because their lives are being affected by gun violence. aka son violence, which is the reason why you won't see anything about this, because we all know who's doing the gun violence everywhere. Okay? So liberals are like, oh man, they gotta do something. They gotta ban walkouts now or something. Or, tell the students to express their anger in another way, because this right here, kids walking out to protest, not police, not racism. One of the teachers said he doesn't want to teach CRT, so everybody in the school's race. No stupid stuff. The thing that affects them every day, gun violence.
1,000 students at a high school in New York City today walking out of school to protest the gun insanity that is like a pandemic these days, including on the campus of Susan Wagner High on Staten Island. From guns at school to threatening posts on social media, so many students furious, and they say they won't take it anymore. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson.
The students were unified in their message that there is way too much violence at Susan E. Wagner High School.
All of us are protesting for change. We want better for this school.
There were back-to-back days of fighting. Recent videos of confrontations have gone viral, including a melee a couple of months ago in the hallway involving a 13-year-old girl who allegedly had a knife.
I can't show you guys this footage. I just can't. It's too violent. But I will tell you this. It was a big brawl, a big melee. And the kids that were assaulting the police officers and assaulting the school security and assaulting each other, they were not gliders. They were not crouching tigers. They were not hombritos. They were not Patels. They were not saying Sunman. So I'll give you the opportunity to guess who it was. That was, basically just like behaving as if like they were in like an episode of, they were like in the video game Grand Theft Auto. This did not look like school. It literally looked like these kids were in like a mob, a pool hall run by the mob, and then another mob family came in, and a rival mob family came in, and it was a beef, and all hell broke loose. They literally looked like a village just been besieged by rival villagers, and just crazy, man.
There were back-to-back days of fighting. Recent videos of confrontations have gone viral, including a melee a couple of months ago in the hallway involving a 13-year-old girl who allegedly had a knife. Another terrifying incident happened outside the school, near the buses, involving a student being assaulted by two young men. One pointed what appears to be a gun at the victim.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. Same thing. And you guys saw the kids walking out. This is a very diverse school. This school is diverse. But these incidents are being done by one group. It's not even done by minority. It's one minority.
It's ridiculous that children can get hold of weaponry and then have the nerve and audacity to hurt other kids.
Students are calling for more security.
Look at these kids. And you know what? I'm going to go to Great Schools app, man. Off to the Great Schools app. Okay, so Susan E. Wagner High School, 3,380 students. Oh, wow. A 4 out of 10 in the Great School Summary rating. 5 out of 10 test scores. Wow. I mean, most of these inner city public schools are trash as far as, the teachers are saints, taking, babysitting these people, kids all day, but the kids' performance is trash. So wow. So yeah, a lot of the kids graduate. Wow, 12% of the kids take AP courses, even though that's below the state average. Um, wow. I mean, it's not the worst school as far as these inner city schools. Not a lot of kids taking AP math and science. Not surprising. But remember, we had one school that nobody had taken Algebra 1. So this school, 56% of the kids take algebra. 91% have taken English. 87%. So these kids aren't doing above and beyond, but they're doing the basics very well. Very well here. Let's get to the all important. Okay, so demographics. Okay, this school only 10% sun teens. And that 10%, remember that's the magic number. That 10% has the other 90% walking out. Wow. I would have thought it would have been a little bit more, but hey, I'm not shocked. I mean, you hit one if you remember when I used to say 15% was the threshold where you just be the environment is just ruined. Hit one if you remember those days. Way back in 2019. And for early part of 2020. I used to say that. I used to be like, man, 15% of your school or 15% of your city or whatever is going to be some people you're going to be ruined. Now recently I've been saying 10, and this is right on cue. I mean, no shocks here, no surprises here.
Students are calling for more security.
We get metal detectors for like 2 days out of the week, and then for the rest, we just have to feel unsafe. And a lot of this stuff is also happening like after school.
They get metal detectors for 2 days out of the week. Well, if I'm a little thug sun teen, unless it's random, I'm just not gonna bring my gun to school today. They have the metal detector. The gang fight. All right, we're going to do the gang fight on. So you have metal detectors on what? Mondays and Fridays? All right. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we tearing it up. What? I guess they're doing the best they can. That's probably all that's in the budget, because these cities have been asking to remove police officers from the schools. They have been talking about the schools are too militarized. That's the problem. Well, they tried to blame the failure of the school to be able to, get the kids up to speed was The cop was in the school. He's the problem.
We get metal detectors for like 2 days out of the week, and then for the rest, we just have to feel unsafe. And a lot of this stuff is also happening like after school.
Plus, the fear is heightened by the recent school shooting in Michigan, which has many on edge when it comes to school safety.
Obviously, yeah, of course, you get thoughts in your head because of the world we live in now.
There was just a lot going on that makes me feel very unsafe in the environment that school has created.
Even before the student walkout, the school had a shelter-in-place lockdown this morning after a parent showed a Snapchat message to administrators.
Isn't it kind of funny how two things? No one's complaining about cops right now, and no one seems to be able to put their finger on exactly who's doing this. Any other time, the race is race. Oh, white cop did a white supremacy, right? The legals, nobody can seem to pinpoint or give us, the skinny on who's doing this, man.
The New York City Education Department put out a statement following the walkout saying student voice and engagement is so important, and Wagner High School's leadership is comprehensively addressing concerns in partnership with the School Safety Division and NYPD.
I'm protesting because I don't feel safe in the school, and I want everybody to be heard today. Today's the day everybody's going to get hurt.